Hi, I'm Shilpi Roy, and I am a filmmaker in Los Angeles, and I wanted to tell you guys about my experience in Peru last year. So for a while, I've had this dream where I really wanted to go to Machu Picchu. And I know that it is a huge tourist trap, and it costs way too much money now, and it is always overrun with people. When you look at pictures of Machu Picchu, it just seems so mystical and magical. I didn't just want to take the train with all the other lazy tourists. What I really wanted to do was hike the Inka Trail. And the Inka Trail is hundreds of miles of trails made by the Incan civilization that connects all their mountain cities. And what you can do now is take a 4-day hike on the actual Inka Trail straight into Machu Picchu. I'm a huge hiker. I love hiking. I've hiked all over Southern California. And I just knew that hiking the Inka Trail would probably be the most amazing and awesome hike I could ever do in my lifetime. Now, during this time, I met somebody and we got married, and finally we booked our trip to Peru.
She spent so much time planning it.
Yeah, I did, because it was my dream. And we'd saved up so much money to take this amazing,
expensive
trip. And we were even gonna take our camera and make a documentary about our experience on the trail. And I'm telling you, this was a once-in-a-lifetime trip that we were never gonna forget. So you wanna know how it went?
2 hours into the actual hike.
Remember, the hike that was my dream for the past few years.
I got hit by the worst food poisoning I've ever had in my life. I was on the ground.
He was shivering uncontrollably, and the only two activities he could do besides that were puke and have diarrhea. So our guide told me I could finish the trail. And I thought to myself, Anthony would divorce me if I left him in a foreign country by himself for 4 days while I decided to gallivant up the Inka Trail.
We had to put our packs back on and hike the 2 hours back down the mountain. I think I probably threw up 3 times along the way.
We had to spend another hour on the bumpiest, road you've ever seen until we finally got back to the nearest town, which is a tiny, tiny town called Ollantaytambo. There is one medical clinic with...
It was actually a pharmacy.
Anthony got an IV, he got some antibiotics.
My Spanish was never better.
Instead of being on the Inka Trail for 4 days, we then spent all that time in Ollantaytambo. We found out the next morning that one of our other group members also decided to turn back. So hey, you're not the only pathetic one. In fact, our guide even informed us that for the 6 years that he's been a guide on the Inka Trail, the number of times that he has had to turn back because of a hiker, twice. So yeah, I guess you'd say we're exceptional.
So after having spent 3 days there recovering, we got on the train and eventually did make it to Machu Picchu just after sunrise, but it was shrouded in clouds. You couldn't see anything. But then the sun came out, and like a curtain parting, it revealed Machu Picchu, and it was just amazing.
In spite of everything that happened, when you're there in person, you really feel the sense of this being old and ancient. And it really is that mystical, magical place that I always thought that it was.
They have some wonderful groundskeepers.
Llamas, they're everywhere. So we ran into our original hiking group that had hiked the whole Inka Trail. And so I thought, we gotta ask them, how was the trail?
And we knew it was gonna be hard. Because of the altitude, it's not a hike most people can do without hiring porters to carry their gear.
You wanna know what kind of answers we got?
It's amazing.
I think it's hard to describe in words.
The trek itself became the aim.
Hardest thing I've ever done. It was so worth it.
You look out on spectacular views of the Andes.
Very spiritual.
It makes me cry. Just absolutely amazing.
I didn't mean to get food poisoning.
So apparently, I was right when I thought that the Inka Trail was going to be an amazing, spiritual, indescribably transformative experience that I will never get to have.
You'll do it another time, I'm quite sure.
Okay. It wasn't meant for you this time. That's when we realized that the ones that didn't make it, they were meant to go another time.
So, next year,